widening. Do you believe, Fathiya, that it's practical to get more money from the taxpayers to finance this, which is, by the way, the inaugural finance bill for President William Ruto? Do you believe they can exceed what has ever been collected? Because the collections over the last 20 years have been very practical. I can break down the figures of how much Kibaki found it, how much he increased over 10 years, how much Uhuru found it, and how much increased over 10 years. It's practical and it's within margin that is acceptable. So what do you think?
I think that, just like you have said, a budget of 3.6 trillion, and you know what we've collected so far is just 50%. That is like about 2.1 trillion. And you see, I do not believe that we should tax more to collect. We have just argued that Kenyans are already overburdened. We are coming from a COVID-19 pandemic, and then we've come to the high cost of living. That is between 2022 and now, since election up until now, Kenyans have been crying of high cost of living. So, you know, burdening them more and saying that yesterday the chair of finance argued that our share, our tax revenue as a share of GDP has remained stagnant at approximately 15%. And he's saying this is due to the tax strategies and policies that have been proposed and implemented have not been successful. Just like he has said, I want to tell him that is not the reason. The reason is we have so much corruption ongoing in Kenya.
So you're actually agreeing with him?
Yeah, yes,
you're actually agreeing with him.
Yes. You see? Yeah. And then there's so much corruption. Just before President Uhuru left, he had confirmed that there's 2 billion that we lose on a daily basis.
But even if you multiply the 2 billion times, it doesn't even go to 1 trillion.
It doesn't go.
It doesn't even
but at
check
least we'll
this
be,
deficit.
Very true. Yeah. But at least we will be somewhere. So I was like suggesting that there's so many other measures that the government can now put in place before coming and burdening Kenyans with more taxes. It can review its expenditures. It can look at measures. You see, the countries that he was comparing us to yesterday when he was talking about that 15%, he said Botswana and some other countries that are managing their corruptions and people are being put into punitive measures for doing such corruptions. And you see now the country is not keen on how, he has not shown us how he's going to deal with corruption, what are measures that he's putting in place. All we are seeing here and all that we've been able to see up until now, it is more taxes, more taxes, more taxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So taxes, the tax that the president targets to collect, one, that's why I want to bring the tax, widening this tax bracket.
Sorry.
Something just fell. I don't know what that is. If the same people who have been